flow drill now for this level. And so this flow drill here, we're gonna start with, and if you've seen the, the other techniques we've done, it was like, we hit the outside, same side outside, opposite side outside, then we hit the inside one, right? We don't have a specific technique for this hand inside because you'd have to, it's just too much movement and I'm in line to get hit there. But we do have a specific drill for either an uppercut or a low punch. Now, if Jay was to hit me with a low strike, I can block. Oh, I almost hit him for real. I can block and hit at the same time. Boom, just like that. I can block and hit at the same time. I have to start focusing on my partner instead of looking at the camera the whole time.
I'll be fine.
So, boom, just like that, right? Now, I've boxed for a long time, and I wouldn't always recommend having a very low kind of block here because they can move their hand and come up and attack. And a lot of times in boxing, it's just we're here like this. But we're thinking of real life self-defense, and we're also thinking of the fact that in real life self-defense, people don't always throw these tight punches like you would see in a professional fighter. Also, we're looking for the clinch, we're looking for the submission, we're looking for the takedown. So oftentimes, because of that, we have to move here so that we can do other techniques. So we're gonna let Jay do this one to me.
Okay.
There we go. So our first technique here is when I punch here, he's gonna block and simultaneously strike. Boom. Now, from here, he's gonna bring his hand around, and you can see my arm bends like this. So my arm is bent behind him. Now let's move to this angle so they can see that. It's hard for me to talk to you guys when my arm's in this position, but here's my arm bent like this. So that's really creating in Jiujitsu what we would call like a standing Kimura lock. You're just bending the arm behind them. So I'm gonna borrow you once here, Jay.
Okay.
So I'm here like this. I just push down and I lift up to create the shoulder lock. And that simultaneously, I could drive his head down and throw this way. You see this in some of our other techniques versus like a dagger versus a sword. We do some throws like that. So here we go, Jay. We're here. And now my arm is bent. Now, if my arm straightens, okay, so if my arm straightens, he now can come up and catch a straight arm bar. I'm going to catch you like that one straight.
Okay.
So we're here. I'm here like this. If his arm straightens, I roll the arm here and I have a straight arm bar. We call this arm crunch arm bar in a lot of our systems. And so his arm is pinned against my neck and my head, and I have a space here for his arm to break. So I'm creating that lock here. You can catch your arms here, you can catch your arms here, you can catch your arms here. Just make sure you have that elbow. So let's try that again. You ready, Jay?
Yep.
So, good. Okay, I'm gonna punch you now. I'll have you do that side.
Okay.
Oh, that's so good. Now, something happens with this, and this is going to take us into a really awesome flow drill. As they're applying this move, what's happened a lot of times is they move their arm free. And it takes us right back to technique number one in this particular series that we're working on. Now, these techniques are not all filmed at once in one level, but if you look back to the moves that Jay and I were in doing these techniques like this, you can see each level has a series. And now we're going right back to the very first one. We could do a bent arm, we could do a straight arm. And if my arm comes free, he looks right here to catch my wrist. But now we're gonna make a really cool flow drill out of this. As he's trying to catch my wrist, I could grab his wrist here and I could remove my hand from there. So let's see that again. So he's here, he's locking me this way. For this particular movement, I'm gonna have my thumb down, I'm gonna grab his wrist, and I'm gonna push him here. Now, I could come here now, and I could lock him, right? Now he could do the same thing to me. Now he could lock me for the wrist lock. See, and we could go back and forth. Okay, now, if I have him like this, and he pushes, and he grabs me, I could also take my hand and put it on his knuckles, not his wrist, but on his knuckles right here, and I can take my forearm and I can drive it over the top, creating a really powerful wrist lock. My wrist already hurt thinking about this move. Woo. Okay, ready? So,
all right.
So if I was here, you can like there, boom, right? And if Jay, if you have my wrist. So if we put some of that together, it might look like this. I'll come with an uppercut. But now, I can also stop this. I can stop this by taking my hand and bringing it to his elbow and applying pressure. But I want to mention something on this, is that we're going to do one of our principles in the martial arts is to create a base. If you create a base, you'll have a very strong technique. When you saw Mote Take Ori in one of our last videos, the base is me and I'm locking his wrist. Or the base could be the ground and I'm locking his wrist. So in this situation, it comes here, I don't use just my hand, but I use my arm against my body. So try to push down on my wrist. He can't because my body's in the way. If my hand was here, try to push, oh, now I'm getting my wrist broke, right? So I can use my hand here and my body, my elbows attached to my body, and I use my whole body. Kentai Ichi Jo, the fist and the body move as one. And now we're right back to this. Now we can add a lot of flow into that technique because we can also apply the other techniques that we did. So if we're here, and now you come here, for sure, look, I can come right back. Look at the momentum throw. So we can combine all those together.